let's go ahead and start off with our icebreaker video. So basically, we're gonna talk about, we gotta really figure out what clients want, and let's all think about, the supply and demand of, the core of business. And we should be always using that to our talents, to making sure that our department and our talents are growing to, sell me this pen. So, meaning, I don't know if you guys seen Wolf of Wall Street. How many have you guys seen Wolf of Wall Street?
I've seen Wolf of Wall Street.
Okay, yeah, sell me this pen, right? Yeah, Rhea. So basically, it's talking about supply and demand, right? So, it's not the fact that we're trying to develop what we want the product to be, but rather it's really what the client wants it to be, right? So make sure that we're remembering that. But other than that, let's get ahead and start our icebreaker.
This storyline will make Hieronymus Bosch look like he was doodling kittens. I have vivisection, self-cannibalism, a special little something I call the Ouroboros. Now, I don't want to appear immodest, but this is the apex of what the park can provide. Horror.
Miss anything interesting?
Romance. Titillation.
Lee not appearing immodest.
Our most skilled guests will fight their ways to the outer limits of the park, besting fearsome braves, seducing newborn maidens, befriending tragically ill-fated sidekicks, and, of course, like all our best narratives over the years, our guests will have the privilege of getting to know the character they're most interested in, themselves. I present our guest's next obsession, Odyssey on Red River.
No.
Sorry?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think...
What is the point of it? Get a couple of cheap thrills, some surprises, but it's not enough. It's not about giving the guests what you think they want. I mean, that's simple. Titillation, horror, elation. They're parlor tricks. The guests don't return for the obvious things we do, the garish things. They come back because of the subtleties, the details. They come back because they discover something they imagine no one had ever noticed before. Something they fall in love with. They're not looking for a story that tells them who they are. They already know who they are. They're here because they want a glimpse of who they could be.
Billy, let's go.
The only thing your story tells me, Mr. Sizemore, is who you are.
Well, isn't there anything you like about it?
What size are those boots?
Okay, we can stop that there. Thank you, Rhea. So basically, really, really nice quote. I watched this finished the season a couple weeks ago, actually. Very good show. It's called Westworld and it's on HBO. Has anyone seen Westworld? I think it's like pretty crazy sci-fi fantasy, but the character not yet. Yeah, I would highly recommend it. But the character that was, he's the director of the park. Basically, they own a park full of androids that serves the guests. Um, and the director that was speaking with the white hair, his name is Dr. Ford, and basically what he says is really resonate with me and what I was trying to build with entropy, right? I was so focused on, using entropy to find who people really are, right? But I realized, that maybe that's not too interesting enough, right? That is interesting enough to get to people to our doors, but maybe there can be more. And that's why I really wanted to emphasize the second quote that he said, it's really about what um, it's really about what getting a glimpse of what people could be, right? And through our data and through our software, I really want our users to make sure that we're giving them the right projection of what type of goals that they're trying and what type of investment that they're doing, and then really showing them a profile, kind of like a gamification um, of, how they're doing it, and then showing them the potential to, become better, you know. When I say gamification, I'm definitely gonna talk with our new UI and UX team on this, but on our profile, sometimes you get to see, different levels of expertise, and different levels of what people want to show people that what you're achieving. Kind of like how people post on Instagram or Facebook, or you write your expertise and your skills on LinkedIn, right? You want to show people, your potential. And I think entropy is a one way to really prove, because you completed it, and the entropy is the proof that you completed the skills and the talents and the passion that drives you, right? So that's something that I really wanted to emphasize, that yeah, it's great that we get to find who people really are, but again, people already know who they are. Kayla knows who she is, Yohyun knows who he is, better than anyone in this world. But it's about, really finding their drive, right? Because not everyone is always going to know what their drive is, right? So that's the purpose of entropy that I wanted to also kind of push with this icebreaker video. Okay, so bolded calm etiquette, like super, 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 super important. Okay, notifications, please have it on. Um, you know, Slack is our main source of communication, and you guys all know who've been through onboarding process that the number one thing that we really need to focus to really get the startup going is, especially in a remote environment, is team and execution. And the execution and the communication between team cannot happen without Slack, right? So make sure that you're on Slack and make sure that you are responding to people within 12 hours, right? And please let the HR or the admins know if something is wrong with, you know, Slack or some people that is not responding within 12 hours. And then at mention, and that should have been on the employee handbook that Rhea pushed out for, I think everyone has signed. So that is a official policy. 12 hours, no less. I mean, yeah, no more, no more than 12 hours. Make sure at mentions, if you get mentioned, including at here, make sure you're giving a thumbs up or making sure that you received it. No one wants to feel like they're talking to a wall, right? So if you're not, responding, or if you're not giving an emoji or a thumbs up or whatever, uh, then that is just really disrespectful for our teammates, right? So when people are mentioning you, at mention on Slack, make sure you're replying to them. And most of you guys are really good at it. So I don't think it's going to be a problem. Meeting attendance, make sure you only get 1 excused absence and 2 excused absence. And excused absence mean you tell people ahead of time. Obviously, if you have like a family emergency or you have to be on a leave or vacation for, a long period of time, just let us know. We're very flexible. We're a startup company, so, we will, definitely abide by your needs as well. Okay. No-show policy. If you're not in contact with us for 2 weeks, you're automatically out of the system, and you will have to reapply to get your position back. And commitment rewards. Anyone who stays with above 3 months gets a automatic bonus, and anyone who stays within a year also gets a stock options. All right. Next slide, please. Any questions on that, actually? On the highlighted policy? This is all in your employee handbooks, which the HR and the admin team really worked hard to make. So I appreciate that. If no questions, please go to next slide. Okay, since this is our quarterly, every quarterly means every 3 months, we like to do a one-on-one counseling. And usually in bigger companies, it will be with your manager. But since we are a very small company or a startup company, we are going to do it with me. So you guys get to ask, whatever the questions you want to ask, and making sure that you and your vision and your talent within this company is getting fulfilled. My job here is to serve you guys and the organization, right? So that's what I'm trying to do with our quarterly one-on-one counseling. We're going to talk about your performance. We're going to talk about what motivates you, and we're going to talk about, your future salary and future benefits and stuff like that. So make sure to come prepared, and please use the link on the calendar.com, CEO Sean Yang, to schedule a meeting with me. And let's try to do this before July ends, no later than July ends. But do not schedule me between July 4th and 8th, please. Again, I repeat, do not schedule between July 4th and 8th. I will not be here. I will be actually in the Army training in next week time. So I will actually be in the field in the middle of the woods, I guess. So I guess I can still have slack sometime in the night, but I will be in the field. So other than that, we'll move on to the next. Okay, so let's talk about the timeline of our company real quick. Towards our investment that I just pitched our investor in, and what we're planning to do, for the next coming months. So the top timeline is the timeline that we originally planned about 2 months ago. The bottom timeline is the adjusted timeline after talking with all the leaders and the departments. So a lot of things got pushed, but there are things that's being done. And I think we need to make sure that we're being realistic with our timelines. And if it needs to be changed, make sure that you bring it through leadership and bring it through me, so we can adjust the timeline for you guys' sake. But for now, take a screenshot or take a picture of the bottom timeline, and making sure that you keep me accountable and keep you guys accountable, or vice versa. I'm going to keep you guys accountable in making sure these timelines are being met. Does anyone have any questions to the timeline? And please feel free to ask me the timeline or after taking a screenshot or a picture on Slack after this meeting or in the future if you do have a question. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so speaking of investment, let's talk about some money, right? So me and the PR team has been working hardly on the marketing campaign that we're trying to do. And I have recently pitched, I think it was like yesterday or 2 days ago to our investor, our marketing campaign. The good news is he really, really, really liked it. He really liked the approach where we're going to. And Rhea, if you could click on the slide, thank you. And we have a new logo now, thanks to Randy and his design mindset. So next, please. Oh, you don't have to show the full screen, right? I'm just gonna quickly go over it. Yeah, so if you go to the fourth slide, basically what we're creating for our marketing plan is we're basically going to shoot a video of different companies using Entropy to get to give out rewards for an event like this, like quarterly or monthly or whatever it is to recognize their employee. And that's gonna just really create a viral incentive type of video that you guys kind of sometimes see on YouTube or TikTok. You just see, challenges given out and people getting rewarded with money, or, for example, probably the most famous example is Mr. Beast, just handing out mass amount of cash for a prize. And that's what we're going to convince the companies to do. And we're going to create the content for free for the companies. And that will create a potential client. Can you go to the next slide? That could, you might have to enlarge this one. That could create a potential clients, for our business. And this is also a PR because this will be hosted on an Entropy, what do you call it? Entropy channel. It can be, we'll probably do it in shorts. It won't be too complicated. But that's what we're trying to get investment of. And the investor, really looked at this. I told him that it was going to be kind of like a undercover boss type of vibe. I don't know if you guys seen Undercover Boss, but definitely look it up if you want to. Undercover Boss basically is like a large CEO goes into a franchise and starts working for it, and then it's just a funny concept, right? Funny and scripted, probably 90% scripted. So that's the type of vibe that we're trying to create in shorts. And the investor really likes the viral idea. It's just that he's going to dissect this and then trying to come up with a better cost structure for our budget. But other than that, we'll wait on him. I think he's gonna give it to us by no later than around next week. But I will update you guys on that. Does anyone have any questions about the marketing campaign that we're trying to initiate? And to be honest, this is not your cup of tea. This is a PR project, so this could not be your expertise. Kayla, did I miss anything?
Sorry, I was hitting the mute button. Yeah, you did good in terms of like the details of what we're working on.
Yeah, I don't want to get too nitty-gritty on the details here because again, this is not you guys' expertise. And we're just telling you to be transparent of where the startup is going. Next slide, please. Or just exit out of it. I want to see what other things. Yeah, just motivational videos. Okay. Yeah, we're trying to. Yeah. All right. Next slide to the main. Yep. Yeah, those of you who did it, great job. I think we're seeing some great result with actually using our own software for ourselves. Uh, I know some of the photos, I think that's one of the testing thing, but some of the photos are not showing up or the uploads, but for the developers to handle. But this is really cute. I mean, look at this. It's just Randy and Aaron doing engagement activity, you know? And this is the type of software that we're trying to build, right? We're trying to build an organization culture at the same time we're trying to find people's drives. Yeah, send it to Tristan and we'll see. We'll, we'll sorry, my tongue is tied. We'll see what Tristan can come up with for organizing those tickets. Because developers are going to have a lot of bugs to fix. All right, next slide, please. Okay, we're on this one. All right, I would like to recognize some of the people. Also, for anyone who did Entropy, everyone's going to get $5 who completed the Entropy. So make sure to do it as something incentive that we're pushing out. I mean, that's the whole idea of Entropy, right, guys? So you're investing in your time or investing your money, and then we're giving you a reward for completing it. So good job for whoever completed it. So outside of that recognition, I would like to recognize Manager's Pick Award. That is in place of hashtag award. We're no longer doing hashtag award because that budget is being used for Entropy award. So Managers Pick Award, leadership gets together almost every week or every other week, and we discuss a lot of vision talk and the teammates that they nominated from the leaders, and they can nominate themselves too. But here are some nominees through June that they have nominated that they really wanted their teammates to get recognized as. First of all, who we have? So we have Yohyun, Cho, and we have Randy Gibson, who is both nominated for Manager's Pick Award. And you both will also get additional $5 of gift card or Venmo of your choice. And for Yohyun, let me pull it up. Aaron still hasn't joined yet, but for Yohyun, he has contributed heavily both to MVP and he had a great communication and teamwork and mindset. He has been a full-time hour, even though he's in Korea with a different time zone. And he has a strong desire to learn and is really easily coachable. So congratulations, Younghyun. Do you want to quickly give a speech? If you want to, you don't have to.
I'll just say thank you.
Yeah, you definitely deserved it. Kayla, do you have a nomination for Randy?
What do you mean nomination?
Do you want me to read it?
Oh yeah, that's fine. Or I could read it. It's fine. Hold on, I just have to find it.
It's on our DM.
Yeah. Okay. I wasn't prepared, but I can do it. All right.
Yeah,
Okay,
look at
so I
Randy's
nominated.
on here too. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry,
he's
go
not.
ahead.
Yeah, he's not on here. But I did nominate Randy Gibson as the manager's pick because he has done amazing work with the branding of Anthropy, and his work has been both creative and strategic when it comes to the rebranding of the Anthropy brand. And he also made sure that everything that he created was geared towards our ideal audience. So that's why I nominated him.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm sure we're doing all virtual claps. But next up, we have a peer-to-peer Anthropy Award. All right, Aaron. Yeah, he's a little busy right now, but congratulations, Aaron, for winning the peer-to-peer Anthropy Award. And making sure there's a lower voting, and you can literally vote yourself as well. But that is up to your integrity. But Entropy Award, you can nominate anyone. We send out a poll before the meeting or monthly meeting, so make sure to vote for your peers. We'll move to the next one. We didn't do Busy Bee Award this time because the hours has not been calculated yet, but we'll announce that soon enough. Okay. Well, that is it for, thanks for, yeah, we're really early, 8:10. Thanks for all of you guys joining. Now we're gonna go into our little gaming event, but feel free to stay or leave. I'm not gonna hold you up, but we're gonna play a little bit of Scriblio.